Hi everyone, in this presentation we are going to teach you how to give the formula fields in the forms. First of all, you should know what are the formula fields. Formula fields are auto calculated fields that derive their value from an expression assigned by the given inputs. You can create these formulas fields across all the modules. Now I will show you how to create the formulas in a form. Okay, form and screen both are same, please don't confuse. Okay, in some application we call as forms, in some application we call as screens. Okay, to do that we need to log into the company. Now before defining any formulas, first of all you have to decide in which form these formulas has to be defined. Okay, please make a note, whenever you define any formulas, in every form there are three parts. One is header part. Okay, now the second part is body part. The third part is footer part. Header part, basically it is a informative fields. Okay, in some companies they use even calculation fields. Body part is also can be a informative field and calculation field. Footer part is purely it's a calculation fields. Now I am going to show you what are those header part, body part and footer part. Let me go to one sales order. Okay, before creating these formulas, okay, here now you are seeing a main tab. That means there is only one tab in this form. Okay, this entire screen is called as a form. The document number, date, customer name, customer PO number, customer PO date, raise pro forma, customer type, export license number, narration, till this part we will call as a header part. Now here you have an item, quantity, rate, gross and discount. This part is called as a body part. Here in footer there are no fields. Okay, here we can define the fields, required fields. Now I will tell you how to define these formulas. First you need to create the required fields in the header, body and footer. Okay, let me do that and show you. To do that, go to settings option. In the required form, here masters, you can define whatever the masters you want. Here we can define cost center. If you want in position as body or header, you can define it and click on update. When you do this particular cost center will be inserted in the sales order form in the header portion. Now I have a option called edit screen. In this edit screen I have body part and footer part. Okay, in the body part I have only a discount field. Now I want to mention one more field. Okay, let me mention some tax fields. I will just add some tax fields. Okay, tax percentage. Okay, assume that this is one field. Here we can define the decimals. Okay, if you want to load any default value, you can give the default value also. By default, if your tax is only 7% or 9%, if you define any value here, by default it will be loaded. Otherwise you can just leave as it is. Okay, now you have a formula part. Okay, in this formula you have a behavior. In this you have a value, means you can just enter the value without giving any formula. Percentage on gross, whatever the gross value you are giving, on that the percentage will be calculated. Here you don't need to define any formula. Percentage on net, not required. But if you give as a formula, then it will ask you to define the formula. Now I don't know what is the formula. Okay, I'll just press OK. Now here I have an option called add to stock. Okay, you can just say not applicable. In case if you don't want to add to stock, you can just define as not applicable. If you want to add this, like in purchases, we will add. Okay, sometimes we don't add. Okay, we can remove this. Now here you have a position. Always you have to give after gross or wherever it is required. Okay, you can decide where you want to place this field. I want to place this field in after gross. Now here I have an option called add to net. Whatever percentage I define in the tax, should this value to be added in the net. Okay, if it has to be added, you have to click on add. Otherwise, deduct or not applicable. Let me do is add and then press apply. I'll just update this and close. Now I go to the new form. Okay, new entry in the form. Now you see, before there was only item, quantity, rate, gross and discount. Now the tax field is inserted. Now if I enter anything here, I'll just go to the previous document. Now you see I am entering as 10. Okay, if I am entering as 10, see here, nothing is happening. Now it is becoming as 0. Now why it is becoming as 0? Because we have mentioned as formula. If you mention as value, it will be get added. Let me show that. I will show one by one how this will be applicable. Let me give as value. If I give as value and enter anything there, it will be added to the net, not as a percentage, just as a value. Now you see this net has become 22. Let me make it 0 now. Now you see this has become 12. That means it is not calculating as a percentage. Now I want to calculate this tax as a percentage. How to do that? I want this to be calculated gross minus discount into tax percent. Okay, let me give my discount as 2%. Okay, now this has become 11.76. Discount is in percentage. Okay, in case if I want to give this discount as value, I can go to the settings option again, go to the edit screen, click on discount on the edit button. Here instead of percentage and gross, I'll just give value. Here add to net, it is given as deduct. Discount always it should be deducted, and then apply, update, close. Let me go to the same document. Now I will define as 2. Okay, now you see, now the value has deducted. Gross was 12 rupees, discount was 2 minus 2, so it has become 10. Now on this net 10, I want to add the tax as 5% or 10%. On 10, I will calculate as 10%. Now how to define that formula? Okay, here in this application, all the header part, okay, the variable starts with LH, means layout header. All the body part, the formula starts with SB, means screen body. Okay, SB. Then there is another formula for the same body. There is a formula for input, there is a formula for output. Okay, let me show you what is the difference between input and output. Now all the footer, okay, all the footer formulas, it will be taken as SF, means screen footer. SF means screen footer, SB means screen body, LH means layout header. Now I go to this setting. Let me create one edit screen, footer also. I'll just click on add field. I'll just give as net value. In this net value, I will select as formula. Okay, This add to stock I will mention as not applicable. Add to net also not applicable. This is just a informative column, informative field. Okay, now I will tell you why I have created this field. I'll just click on apply. I'll just update. I'll close. I'll go to my form, sales order form. Now you see I have my net is 12. My discount is 2. I'll just save it. When I save this information is stored permanently. Now you see this has become 10. Okay, now I want this 10 to appear here. I want this 10 to return. The value of this 10 should return here. Why I am returning this value is, suppose if I want to give any round off on this net value, I can take this field and I can calculate. Now I will show you how to do that. First of all, I will tell you how to calculate the tax column. Okay, tax column field, how to give the formula. Go to settings, click on edit, click on tax. Now my tax should be calculated on my gross minus discount into whatever tax percentage I give. Now I'll select as formula. Here when I click here, this formula window will open. Here I want to check what is my gross. If you don't know the formulas, you can check here. You can just type that field name. Here you will get a variable. GR means it's gross. TGR means it's total gross. So what I will do is I'll just give as GR. Into means you have to use asterisk. Okay, GR minus discount. Okay, I'll just type discount. So like this you have to search. Now you see here I got input as well as output. Now you see for input it has given only SB1. For calculated value of that particular discount, it has given as SBO. SBO means it is output. So you have to take the output value here. So I will take it as SBO1. SBO1. Okay. Then into. Now what is my tax percentage? Now what is my tax variable? Now my tax variable is SB2. So I will not take any calculated value. Now here I can take input value. So SB2 divided by 100. I'll press OK. So this is how you can search all the variables. Then apply, update, close. Now I go to the same form. Now you see here I will define my tax percentage as 10%. I'll just press tab. Now you see here my tax is calculated on 10 rupees. My gross is 12, minus 2 is discount, so it has become 10. On 10 it has calculated 10% as 1. So my net value is 11. Now this net value should return here. How this will return? Let me show you that. I'll just save this. I go to previous again. So my tax percentage is calculated as per the formula I have defined. Here I will show you how to give the net value. Click on edit screen. Go to footer. Click on net value, edit button. Here you need to take the preload value. Okay, here I don't want any preload formula. I just need a value. Here I go to a preload value. Here you have to give a and symbol. This is to refresh your formulas. Okay, here what I do is I take TGR. TGR means it's total gross plus. What I will do is I will take my discount. Okay, I will search for my discount. My discount is SBO1, TSBO1. Okay, I will give it as minus TSBO1. Okay, plus I will give my tax value. What is my tax value? Tax SBO2, TSBO2. T means it's total. TSBO2. Okay, if you don't give T, it will only calculate the first line of item. If you have 2-3 lines in the body, it will not calculate. When you give T as a total, it will calculate. Then I press OK. I press apply. Update. Now I go to the same voucher. Now you see here, I click here, automatically it has written the value, but there is no decimals. Why there is no decimals? Because we have not given decimals to that field. Now I go to settings, I go to edit screen, footer. Now I click on edit button. Here I have number of decimals. Whatever the decimals I will give, it will come. I'll just click on update, close. Okay, now I click here, I'll just save. Go to previous. Now you see my value got written. Okay, this is how you define the formulas, the standard formulas. Okay, now you see here, whatever the net value I am getting here, I am getting here also. Now I want to put a round off in the footer. I'll go to settings, edit screen, footer. I'll click add field. I'll just give round off as a field. I'll give a number of decimals as 2. I'll just give value. I am not giving any formula. I'll just give value. Add to net, yes, I can add this. Add to stock, not required. Then I'll click on apply. Update, close. Now you see I got this 11. Okay, in round off I want to add as 4 and just press tab. Now you see my net value here, it has become 15. Like this you can add the round off. In case if you want to minus it, I want to do a minus, put the minus symbol and give the value. Now you see it has minused. So like this you can apply the standard formulas. I'll just save this, go to previous. Now you see 11 was my net value. From that I have given round off as -1, so my net has become 10. Like this you can give the standard formulas. Now how to give the logical formulas? Okay, logical formulas will work on if and else condition. How to apply those formulas? I am going to tell you how to apply those formulas. Okay, let me give you one example of that. I'll just close this. Okay, to give that example, what I will do is I am going to create 2 tax fields. Okay, one is CGST, another as SGST and another as IGST. Okay, in the header I am going to create a selection field. Okay, that selection field I am going to create. After creating that selection field, I will apply the formula. Now how to apply that formula I will show you. Okay, let me show you in the readily available backup. Let me take you to the sales order. I will take you to the local sales order. I will take you to the settings. Okay, here in the edit layout I have a field called is IGST. I just edit this. I have selected the data type as number list. Okay, number list, because I need a selection. By default 0 as no, 1 as yes. Okay, now I'll just click on apply. Based on this field I am going to define a formula in the edit screen. In the edit screen, I have CGST, SGST, IGST. Okay, all these fields I have. Now let me take you to the screen first. Now I have a customer account, due date, cost center, place of supply, and is IGST. Now you see by default it is showing as no, because the value 0 is assigned to no, 1 is assigned to yes. Okay, based on this formula, here you have a body fields called CGST and SGST and IGST. If my IGST is no, CGST, SGST is applicable. Okay, if my IGST is no, else means it is yes, then only IGST is applicable. Now how that will work, I will show you. For that we need to give a conditional formula. How to give a conditional formula in the forms, I will show you. Okay, I have created a field called CGST. Here in the formula I have given taxable value. Taxable value means gross minus discount is a taxable value into CGST input percentage. Okay, whatever the taxable value I get, whatever the percentage I give in CGST input, on taxable value the CGST will be calculated. Okay, this is one way of behavior. Okay, the another is, here I am preloading based on my header field. What is my LH1? As I said, all the header fields are defined as LH1. Now how to search that, is it LH1 or not? Here I have a search button. I'll just type is IGST. Now you see here my variable is showing LH1. Like this you have to search your formula variables. Okay, if my LH1 double equals to, okay, here you can see in the bottom all the formulas are defined. All the formulas are defined. Okay, you have to use this. You have to use these formulas. So I am defining double equals to 0. Then consider SB4. What is my SB4? Now I will type my SB4 here. Like this also you can check. Or if my LH1 double equals to 0, I will search with CGST. I will say consider CGST as my input. Colon means else. Okay, here we will consider colon as else 0. Okay, this is how you define the formula. Okay, the same formula you can check for SGST. Here in SGST what happens? If my IGST selection field is double equals to 0, then I am telling consider SB5. What is my SB5? It is SGST. It is my SGST. I am telling to consider SGST value, else 0. Now the same formula I have given for IGST, but here I have changed the condition. In before field my LH1 was 0. Here I am saying my LH1 equals to 1. That means if it is yes. If my IGST equals to yes, I am telling please consider my IGST input. Okay, this is my IGST input, else 0. Now after defining this formula, here you have one more option. If you want to post this particular value to a particular account, you can check this option and you can give the respective account, select that account and then apply. Okay, now whenever you give the formula, please check whether add to net is there or not. Okay, this is must to give. Okay, and the position should be after gross. You have to decide the position based on the customer requirement. Now I will show you the working scenario of that formula. I will select a customer. local customer. Okay, my due date can be 30th of September. My cost center, my place of supply, I will select the respective state. Now here you see IGST is no. Okay, here I will select one item, product A. I am giving quantity as 10. My rate is say 500. So my gross has become 5000. Here I will give my discount as 10. So 10% discount it is applied. So it has deducted 500. Here again I have my discount amount field also. I can just give the value. So it has become 4450. Now I have selected is IGST as no. Now you see what happens here. I am giving my CGST percentage as 9, SGST percentage as 9. Okay, I'll just save this. Now you see what happens if I change this selection IGST as yes. Okay, see here. Now I selected this. I came here. When I click here, by default it has become 0. That means it will not consider CGST, IGST. Now I will give my IGST. Okay, then I will change my place of supply. This is how the if and else condition formula will work. Okay, this is one way of defining formula, the logical formula. Okay, I will show you one example we have done for one customer. His requirement was whenever he receives any material, okay, he has a lot. Say if he has received some quantity, say 2000 numbers of quantity, okay, he wants to check minimum 20 pieces for the QC. Okay, so how to define that formula? I'll just show you. That is one multiple if and else condition formula. In IGST I have shown you if and else. Okay, only two conditions. Now if you want to give multiple conditions in the same, okay, let me show you. I'll just go to one material receipt note or purchase order. I can select purchase order. Okay, I go to one purchase order. I click on new. Here you see I have so many fields in the body. Okay, I'll just enter one PO just for testing purpose. Okay, here my IGST I'll just become as no. I will select this item. Okay, assume that I received 2000 quantity. Okay, my rate is say 120. Okay, this is my requirement. Now I will define if I receive this 2000, how many pieces to be checked. Okay, this is my purchase order. Okay, okay, I have local purchase, local MRN. Okay, so let me show you in local purchase order, because I have a flow defined here. I'll just copy this voucher in the same document, in the same form. Copy document, copy to clipboard. Now I'll go to the local purchase order. Local purchase order. When I click here, I'll click on new. I just select this and paste from clipboard. So all the contents will be copied here. Okay, I will just save this. Okay, I saved this. Now my requirement is whenever I receive any goods through a material receipt note, I want to do some lot QC. Okay, now I have my local MRN. In this I have only quantity, but I want to give one more field next to the quantity as QC quantity. Okay, now QC quantity, that QC quantity should auto populate with the return value. How to do that? What I'll do is, I'll go to settings, I'll go to edit screen, I'll create one field with add option. Here I'll say QC quantity. Okay, QC quantity. Decimals I can give as 2 if required. Okay, here add to net not applicable. Here I will give my, this field should come between quantity and rate, because I want after the quantity. Add to stock, it's not applicable. This is just an informative field. I'll just apply. Okay, now I will go to my pending orders. I'll click here. Now you see here my QC quantity is showing 0 because I have not applied any formula. Okay, I will just show you one formula which is already there. This is my formula which I have to define in the preload. Okay, in the field preload value. If my quantity is greater than or equals to 3001, then I am saying return 25 pieces. Okay, else quantity is greater than or equals to 1001, check 20 pieces. Else quantity is greater than or equals to 501, check 15 pieces. Then else quantity is greater than or equals to 301, check 10 pieces. Quantity greater than or equals to 101, check 7 pieces. Quantity is greater than or equals to 2, okay, check 4 pieces. Okay, like this I have given. Else 0. This is how I have given. Okay, let me show you this. I go to settings in the same form. I click on edit screen. Now I have to apply my formula to this particular field. Okay, now I have this behavior as value. Here I will give my formula. Now what is my quantity formula? Now you can select here. QTY is your quantity formula. So I have to give my variable as QTY only. Now you see this formula is applied. Now here it is showing the expanded formula, what it is doing. I'll just say okay, apply, update and close. Now you see many if and else condition is given there. I'll click here, I'll select this value. Now you see my QC quantity has come automatically. Now if I change this, automatically my QC will get changed. Okay, now you see I give 100 quantity, I give 200 quantity, okay, I give 300 quantity, I give my 400 quantity, I give 500 quantity, I give 600 quantity. See, the QC quantity is getting changed. So like this you can define the if and else multiple conditions. Okay, this is how the formulas will work. Okay, it is asking me the warehouse. I can define the warehouse here. I'll just save. Okay, this is how you can apply the multiple formulas. Okay, in the header you can even give the calculation fields, but make sure that if you want to do any calculations in the header, whatever the field you create in edit layout, header and body, okay, you have header as well as body. Body means in screen the body fields means the informative, the label fields will be created. Also you can give the fraction fields also. In the header if you want to give any calculations field, you just click on add field. Okay, I'm just giving as a test field. Okay, as a test field I'll just press tab. Here data type you have to select as fraction. When you select fraction you can define the decimals. Okay, In case if you have selected number, you cannot select the decimals. So that is the difference between number and fraction. Okay, so here you can define the fraction like this and just click on apply. Also you have properties here. If you want to set any properties for this field as mandatory or anything, you can set it. Also you have formatting field and you have rules. If you want to define any rules, you can define here. Okay, like this you can define. Okay, just apply, close. Now I click on new. You see I have a test field created here. I can give any numeric value, but I cannot give any alphabets because it is a fraction field. So like this you can give the fraction fields. In case if you want to give one more fraction field as test field 2, go to the same screen, settings, go to edit layout. Okay, click on add field, test field 2. Okay, I'm defining as test field 2, same fraction. Okay, now I want to give another field called total in the header. I'll click as add field. I'll click on add field. I'll give as total of test field. This also I will select as fraction. Now I'll give as 2. Now whatever field I have mentioned as test field 1 and test field 2, let me show you how it will work, the numeric fields. Here I have given as 20. Okay, here I have given as 15. Okay, 15. Now I want that return value here. Yes, you can do that. Okay, how to do that? I just save this voucher. I go to the settings option here. Now my header fields will populate me here. Okay, I just go to click on next button. So I go to the next page of the fields. I click here in preload or in default value. Sorry, in default value I will give as and symbol, which is my refresh formula. Here now I want to know what is the formula of the test field. Now to know that formula, I have to go to the screen option. I'll just click on apply. Okay, I go to the screen option. You can click here on the quantity preload or in the formula, or in the quantity preload, just click here. Okay, you just scroll down. Here you can check the test field. Now you see here it is given LH17 and LH18. That means if I want to add these fields, then I have to give my variable as LH17 plus LH18. Okay, like this you have to search. You have to come to edit screen button and search. Close this. Now you go to settings, click on edit layout, click on next. Here test field, total test field, you have to give the default value as and hash LH17 plus LH18. Okay, this is how you have to give the formula for the header fields. If you don't give hash, the value will not get written. Okay, let me show you in the screen. I'll just go to the screen. Okay, now you see I have 20, 15. When I press tab, now this value has written 20 plus 15, it has become 35. So this is how you can even give the calculation fields in the header. Okay, the last point which is left is I would like to show how to calculate the date fields. Okay, to calculate the date fields, my requirement is like I have a document date. Okay, so I have a credit days. Okay, now based on the credit days, I will create one field called lead days. Okay, based on the lead days, my due date should be calculated. Now how to do that? Let me show you that. I will create one field. Okay, before that you need to activate the due date in the header, then close. Check whether the due date is activated or not. Here you will get the due date. Yes, you got the due date here. Now this due date should be calculated based on the lead days. Now what is that lead days? I have to create one variable called lead days. Based on that lead days, my due date should be calculated. Now how to give that? I will create one field called lead days. In the edit layout, in the header, this would be my fraction field, or it can be my numeric field also, number field also. I'll just click on apply, because lead days will be given in days only, there will be no fraction. So I'll just update and close. Now you see whether that field is reflected or not. Yes, it is reflected. Okay, for this particular PO, I want to give that 7 days as lead days, so that my due date should become 21 plus 7. It should become my due date. So it has to be 28. Okay. Now how to calculate that? Okay, to do that, you have to define a view. Okay, before defining a view, you have to know what is your lead days formula. I just click on edit screen. I'll just scroll. I'll just see my lead days formula is LH20. Okay. Now I go to settings. I'll create one view. Okay. I'll just create one view as test. I can give my view name as test. Now in this view, I will allocate this to this particular users, whoever is here. Okay, I'll just save this view first. Okay, first you need to save the view. After saving the view, click on update, then close. Check whether the view is created or not. Go to settings again, click here and click on views. Now you see my view is created. If the view is created, you can see this name. If you have many views, you can see by clicking on this button. I have only one view now. Now I want to calculate this due date. Now to calculate this due date, first I need to move my lead days. Where is my lead days? In the next page. Click on next, click on next. Okay, here I have my lead days. I'll just select this and click this arrow button on the right hand side like this. Okay, so like this I will take on top of the due date. Okay, this is my lead days. Here now what I'll do is I'll just click on save, then update. Okay, now you see whether my this lead days has come before the due date. Yes, it has come. Now you see this lead days, before it was in the bottom. Okay, in the last field. Okay, it was the last field. Now it has become in the third position. After document number, date, vendor name, it has come lead days. Now it is not calculating. Now I will apply a formula. Okay, to add this due date, we have a formula here. I'll just show you here in edit screen. Okay, whenever you click on any formula field, I'll just click and show you. Okay, or I'll just click here and I can show you here also. Okay, here I have a date difference. Okay, here I have a date difference. Okay, here if I click here, the date difference formula will come. Like this I have a formula for date add also. Okay, I'll just open my notepad and show you how that formula will come. Okay, this is my formula. Okay, now we know what is the lead days variable. Okay, now you just come here and see the lead days LH20. Okay, what I'll do is I'll go to that view, then click on view. Now in the due date, in the edit button, what I'll give the formula as and hash date add. DT means your document date. Now LH20 to be added to this particular document date. I'll click on apply, then save, then update. Okay, once this is done, relogin it. Now I go to the purchase order. I'll just select this. Sorry, that lead days I have given in 1 second. Okay, I have given in MRN, I believe. Yes, I have given in MRN. Now you see the lead days have become 28 based on the formula we have defined in the view. Now I will change this to 14 days and press tab. Now you see the due date is getting changed. Now I'll give 4 days. Okay, like this you can define the formulas in views also. So we have many variables and formulas. I will share you the list of formulas in the attachment, okay, with this video. Okay, if you want to know any formula, you can just refer that document. Okay, this is how we define the formulas in the forms and screens. So I have presented the standard formulas, logical formulas and the complex formulas. Okay, this is how you have to define the formulas. Okay, if you like my presentation, please subscribe. Thank you.